Welcome, everybody, to FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, the Nald Dog.
What's up, man?
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I am doing well. I
Good.
am excited to, I don't know if I'm excited about this movie that we're going to be reviewing, but I don't even know if I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to get this review going.
Good. Let's get it going because I kind of enjoy when we don't agree on a movie.
Okay.
We do tend to have similar tastes, and this is one I think we're going to disagree a little bit on. I feel like I'm already on the defensive about it, but all right, we're going with what?
1995 gave us Clueless in 1995. And in 1995, I was 15 years old. I think you were 14,
Yep,
probably. So this movie was in about our generation. Did you watch this movie
I
when you were
did.
young? You did?
Did.
Okay.
I saw it at the drive-in. Yep.
At the drive-in.
It was a
Gosh.
double feature with a really bad Denzel movie called Virtuosity, where Russell Crowe's the bad guy. But that was the better of the two. But I still enjoyed this, and I think I enjoy it more now, remembering the times. It's a very nostalgic movie in that regard.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, seeing them in high school, right? We were in high school at the
Mhm.
time, but I didn't see this movie growing up. This was my first go around. And I got
Right.
to tell you, being a 40-year-old, 41, am I 41? Something like that,
Yeah.
watching this movie, it did not speak to me. It did not speak to me. I thought Alicia Silverstone was okay. She played her character really well, but that was kind of it. I do remember though everybody saying "as if," or what's another catchy catchphrase? Whatever, don't be bugging, jeeping. Oh, he's a Baldwin. You go on forever.
Yes, there are that was probably my first note, was that there a lot of dated references. It's
Yeah.
the mid 90s. It's a Valley Girl kind of, you know, area. It takes place in Beverly Hills. So, it's exactly what I think you would have expected it to be back in the 90s. Um, but it's fun. I think it's fun. I think a lot of the jokes still land for me. I think Amy Heckerling is a she's good at this. She did Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like, she is good at this high school comedy for, the times. And
Amy
I don't know.
Heckerling was the director, right?
Yes, writer and
Yeah.
director. Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it's fun. Yeah. Is Alicia Silverstone amazing? No, I mean, she's great. In the sense that, like, it works, it makes sense. I'm more in love with the people around her in this movie.
Sure. It starts out. It's almost like she's this bar. She's a Barbie. She's a Barbie living in a
Mm,
castle, and she computer picks out her clothes. And I did enjoy seeing all the different groups in high school.
mhm.
Like the nerds and the guys, the group who played the hacky sack, and the popular kids and the jocks. So it's just the way they dress. I remember all that because I was part of one of those groups, I'm sure, and I dress just like them. Um, so that was fun in itself. I did like Alicia Silverstone. I'll say that again. I thought she played her character really well. She's very
Mhm.
childlike. She's very childlike, very innocent, but yet conniving.
Mhm.
And yet you still rooted for her because she was so clueless, right?
Ding,
She was
ding,
so
ding.
ding ding ding. She was so clueless. It was kind of like there's a little bit of Dumb and Dumber in it, a little bit,
Okay.
but overall, it was okay. It just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I wonder if that, because you're not and weren't a high school girl,
I
that,
was not. You're right.
maybe it didn't hit, and this was your first time seeing it, right? This is,
Yeah, it
it's
was the first time seeing it.
25 years old at this point. Like, it's just, I don't know that, while you could be nostalgic for the time and remember the time, that is
Yeah,
going to have that same flavor as
yeah.
something for me, where this is nostalgic. I remember seeing it. I remember the times. I remember those baggy pants that, just dragged on the ground, and don't
Hmm.
understand why people wore those.
Some
Weird
people
times,
still
man.
wear them.
They're coming back. That's
Oh
the thing. Yeah, the
gosh.
90s are coming back somehow.
Okay.
Um, Another rest in peace, Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy. Yes.
Her real first movie that I can think of that she was in, and her character's fun. I think that it was just a little rough around the edges in this movie. Maybe it was just the character I didn't really care for, but it was fun to remember like her being, bouncing out of the scene the first time for this film.
Sure. Brittany Murphy, I thought she was actually funny before her transitioned into Miss Popular. I thought she was really funny. She was really nerdy and geeky, and she played it really well. So I like that. Um, Obviously, you had friends in high school. Clearly, I hope you had friends in high
Yeah,
school.
sure.
Do you did you have a group of friends who were girls that saw this that you remember that they liked it?
That's a good question. I don't recall, being at a point in my life where I ever really had discussions on movies with people.
Right.
Back then, that was
Okay.
before I really got into movies. So I think that I can recall it being popular, and I can recall the terminology and the as ifs, the
Yeah.
character Cher being like, discussed and out there. But I don't recall whether people loved it or hated it. It wasn't like wildly successful. It did okay. But $55 million, it's not like it, it did spawn a TV show.
It sure did.
For like 3 or 4 seasons that actually had a lot of the main cast from the film in the movie or in the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a fun fact?
I guess that is a fun fact. Yeah.
Fun fact number one, people.
There you go. So yeah, I think that for me, I was pleasantly surprised that a lot of the jokes still hit and still landed. There's a lot of really sharp wit, really quick dialogue that's happening that I didn't catch when I was younger. And so I think that's where it's fun to watch these movies sometimes, because some of that stuff flies over your head where you're like, wow, I wouldn't have got that when I was 14 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some of the jokes are funny. Going back to my high school days, I had a group of friends and I had friends that were girls. And I'm sure I think there was like three main ones, and I'm sure they went to go see it. And I vaguely remember it being really popular. And so people, use as if or whatever. I think even the loser thing came from this movie. I could be wrong, but that just seems like all that stuff came from this movie. The Baldwin, if you were a Baldwin, you're a good looking dude. So I have to give it up because of that. So because it's 1995, it's my generation. I'm really sorry that I did not watch this in the movie theater, but now watching this, I now am kind of grateful that I didn't watch it.
But you think you would have hated it? 15-year-old Ronaldo would have hated this movie?
I don't know if I would have hated it. I probably would have been dragged to go see this movie, because there's no way I would have gone seen it on my own or with a guy friend. So I'm sure one of the gals in my clique probably would have dragged me to go see it. So
a great line in the movie, because I just get a feeling that Bad Lines is coming very soon. But I did like the jab at it's such and such is like looking for meaning in a Pauly Shore movie. That's a funny joke. I was dying. This was like, again, that Baldwin call out. It's sign of the times. Like Pauly Shore was huge then, to like take a little jab at his shtick and his humor.
Yeah.
I thought
which is crazy, because I was thinking, man, I'd rather be watching a Pauly Shore movie when that comment was said. So
okay, fair
whatever,
enough.
Clueless. Let's not forget about our friend Paul Rudd. I totally forgot that he was in this movie. And so when he was on the screen, I'm like, oh, Paul Rudd, this is going to be good. It's going to be okay. And it wasn't, but at least he was in it.
But he's good in it. He's really good in it.
Like, yeah, he's okay in it.
Okay, like what did you want him to be? Do you think
I don't know. I don't know what I wanted him to be, Chris.
I don't know what you wanted this movie to be.
A coming of age story, maybe? I don't know. I did like Paul Rudd, though. He was cool. He was Josh, the stepbrother, but no longer a stepbrother because that divorce. So
it brings me to a question. Okay, so we both have kids. Like, your daughter decides to date someone that used to be her stepbrother, who's also in college when she's only 15 or 16.
Yeah, I don't.
Is that an issue?
Yeah, because it's weird. And I mean, I'm just gonna skip to the end, but we'll go back to the middle.
Yeah.
Toward the end, like, the dad has nothing to say about this. I guess the dad's cool about it.
That's what I'm getting at. Yes.
That Josh and Cher, spoilers, everybody, they end up together. But they were once stepbrothers, but they're no longer siblings, and now they like each other and they're dating, but one's 15 and the other one's 18. So is that legal? Damn you, Clueless.
I mean, we think he's 18. He could be 19. He could be 20. Like, he's in college, and that's all we know. And at one point, you actually do see him, I think in the wedding scene, you see him with alcohol, while the rest of the group don't have alcohol. Even though, I mean, earlier, and that's one of the things I think I got an issue with. Like, God, they act like everybody in high school had tattoos and went to parties and smoked weed and drank, and like that kind of wasn't happening at the parties I went to in 1995. Maybe I just wasn't invited to the cool parties, but
Yeah, I don't think you were invited to the cool parties. Well, I don't think I was either. I
did
didn't
you know
get
a lot of people that had tattoos like in high school?
I know there was like
Yeah.
one or two, and they probably got it done because they lied about their age.
Right.
Right. I mean, heck, we got our first tattoos, right? Remember, we were like 18 or 19.
Yeah, I mean, the legal age that, you know, it's required to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
parental consent. It just, I was like, I know that all these actors are playing younger people, and they're older. Stacey Dash, she was like 28 when she was playing like
Yeah, she was like 28 years old. And the what's her name for all those people out there? Dion, the best friend. She was almost 30 years old playing a 15-year-old. So
good for her. She looked really young. So, you know.
Yeah. Is that a fun fact? Fun fact. There you go.
Fun fact. Boom.
Fun
Ding.
Fact. Ding. All right. Hold on. Let's worst line time, because I feel I want to hear your worst line. All right. Let's do this. Worst line. Let's go.
I get a feeling we're going to be on the same track again. And we haven't done this in a while, but they're having a discussion about, you know, virginity and whatnot at the lunch table. And Dion, I think, corrects somebody and is like, and the PC term is hymenly challenged.
Cher, you're a virgin?
God, you say that it's a bad thing. The PC term is hymenally challenged.
As opposed to being a virgin. And I just cringed because what? What?
It's Clueless, man.
I get like that at the time that was a popular thing. You're like, oh, correcting people. I'm like, oh, it's not PC to say that, but like, what? I cringed.
Right.
I cringed.
I hope I find that clip for you.
Please.
All right.
Audio.
I don't know, man. I feel like this whole movie was one bad line. It was bad line, bad line after bad line.
So nice.
But that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a funny, dumb movie. I understand that. There was one scene that kind of bugged me, and I don't know if it's a bad line, but I'm just going to give it to you. It was when, what's his name? So Brittany Murphy, she was at the party, and then the guy that they were trying to hook her up with, I forget what his name is.
Sure. I can't think of the actor, but yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, hey, this is our song. Do you want to dance to this song? And it was, I think it's Coolio who sang that song. Yes. And he does this with his hand motion, rolling with the homies.
All right, Sherry, can you do this? Rolling with the homies.
Rolling with the homies.
Yeah, let's do it.
I cringed so bad because I thought that was really bad. And then I thought, man, that was probably me too. I probably did all that stuff growing up. Rolling with the homies. It's bad.
Yeah, but then the whole group's doing it, and they're all doing it together.
Forget it. Forget it. Oh gosh.
All right, fine. I mean, I like the Coolio song, so you know.
I didn't like that. I mean, I just don't know if it was the hand wave that he did or the rolling with the homies.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that actor has always kind of creeped me out, and Jeremy Sisto, like for some reason,
Sisto.
Like, yeah,
that's his name.
He's always just giving me the creeps. So he does in this movie as well because he's trying to sexually harass Cher.
Yeah, Cher. Okay. Funny scene. I really like the scene where Dion's boyfriend, the guy from Scrubs, forget what his name
Donald
is.
Faison.
Yes, he's trying to teach her how to drive, and they get on the freeway, and all hell breaks loose, and Cher is in the back, and at one point Dion takes her hands off the steering wheel, and they're all screaming, and there's cars and trucks flying. I actually chuckled in that part, so I'll give it up for that scene. I like that scene. That was good.
You thought that was funny because that's how your driving test went, isn't it?
I thought that was fun. First of all, Cher failed her test, right? Cher failed her test. And here's a fun fact. I failed my driver's test the first time.
Oh,
fun fact, people.
Fun fact.
I did. It's a really sad day. I was ready to celebrate, but I failed. So
Donald Faison is definitely he shines. Murray, right? When he's getting his head shaved, and she's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call your mom, and he's like, don't call mom. It's like,
Yeah.
but he's holding him back, telling him to chill. I love that. But you know who shines the most for me in this movie? Dan Hedaya, the dad for Cher. I love him. I love his demeanor. I've always loved him. He's great as the dad in Night at the Roxbury. He's great in the Addams Family. Values, maybe he was in the second one, but I love him. The scene where they're at dinner and Brittany Murphy's character is sitting in his chair, and he just she's introducing him, or introducing her to him, and he just walks on, get out of my chair.
Yeah.
Deadpan, spit out my water. I forgot about that. It's just so good. He doesn't care. He just like, you're in my chair.
He's funny. He's creepy. That's another creepy guy, I think.
The eyebrows.
Is that his eyebrows?
Yeah, it's the eyebrows. There's just like thick, big eyebrows, and he just has that demeanor where, you know, I love him.
But Eugene Levy has thick eyebrows, and he's great. He's a fun guy.
So I got one more thing, another fun fact that I wanted to bring up. But
fun fact. Okay.
I bring this up because I was very into this music at the time. But do you know that the band who was playing at their party?
Yes, the Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Good work, sir.
Actually,
we might have to do like a quiz segment. But I did you look it up? Or did you?
No, I think my wife told me. I think we were watching it together. I think she knew.
Credit
goes to her.
Yeah, it was that ska music. I was so into that music in the 90s. So
who wasn't? Everybody was. Ska. Ska was great. I mean, no doubt was ska at first before she became pop. So Real Big Fish.
We just gave that to free.
There you go.
Yeah.
Real Big Fish, for all those out there who remember Real Big Fish. They were great.
They were something about that horn section, man. In a rock band, it just works. And random people dancing on stage that have nothing to do with the band. They don't play, dance around on stage. That's what happened.
I love it.
Ska. All right, I won't beat a dead horse. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but we'll get to the rating. Let's do this. Okay. I'm gonna go first because I had fun with this movie. I thought I was not going to. We have definitely run into some issues with some of our previous like memories on some films, and this was one that I actually recall thinking, whatever. But I really came to terms with like liking it and thinking it does pretty well and holds up. I'm 3.5 as ifs.
Wow, 3.5.
That's right.
As ifs on a rating scale from 1 to 5, you're going to give Clueless 3.5.
3.5. It's fun. It's well done. It's not too long. It's an hour and 37 minutes. It's sweet and to the point.
It is. It is almost 97 minutes. So it's I like that part, but it did feel a little long to me. 3.5. A little bit flabbergasted, but okay. Clueless for me, 1995. I was 15. I should have seen this when I was 15, but I didn't. I'm gonna go with a 2.5. 2.5 as ifs because I'm watching it and it's kind of dumb. I know it's supposed to be dumb before people start saying something. I know it's supposed to be dumb, but I'm giving it the half because it was my era. I totally get it. I totally understood all the groups and the way that people dress. So I like that.
Well, as if we have anything else to say on this, we don't. So we're going to end this, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and let us know. Did you watch Clueless? If you haven't, based on Ronaldo's take on it, I would say don't watch it. Based on my take, very nostalgic, love it, dive in. You won't recommend it, but a 2.5's not bad, and I'll take that.
Sure.
For FYC Film Review, I've been your host, Gagne. With me as always, my buddy, the Nald Dog.
See you guys later.
Until next time.
All right, guys. Bye.